Alright, time for lesson. You guys all know how to play chess, right? Right? Okay, so maybe not all of you know how to play chess, but that's okay. That's what I'm here for. I'm going to show you the basics of chess and, how to be good at it. But there's just one problem. Chess is a two-player game and, yeah, I don't have any friends, so I don't know what we're gonna do. Man, I sure do wish I had some friends. Whoa! Who are you? Are you me? Wait, can you talk? Oh, well, that sucks. But now we have another player we can play chess with, so this is a good thing. So, let's get to it. So first, we need to talk about piece movement, because of course, you need to know how the pieces move to actually play chess. But to play chess, we also need actual pieces. So, just one second. There we go. Now that we have some pieces, let's talk about how each of them move. First, pawns, the simplest piece in the game. They can move forward 2 spaces on their first turn, and then can only move 1 space. They can only take another piece diagonally. Next is rooks. They are very important pieces. They can move forward, backwards, and side to side. They can move any number of squares. Knights are unique pieces. They move in an L shape. Bishops. These are my favorite pieces. They can move any number of squares diagonally. The queen. This is your most useful piece. It can move any direction. Make sure you don't make a dumb move and lose your queen. The king. This is the most important piece. It can move 1 square each, unless he is castling, which is where you bring the king close to the outside of the board and the rook closer to the middle. Do whatever you can to make sure you are never in check. Check is when your king is in danger of being taken out, and if your king has nowhere to go, well, that's checkmate and you lose. And the 2 kings can never move next to each other. Now that you know how all of the pieces move, we're ready to start the game. And these 2 are ready to play. So first up is the opening of the game, which is arguably one of the most important parts. If you screw up the opening, you could possibly lose the entire game. So be sure to do it right. This is one of my favorite openings. You bring the king and queen's pawns out 2 spaces out and the 2 bishops' pawns 1 out. That way both the bishops and the knights and the queen can all come out early, so you can either attack or defend. An opening can often decide who the victor is. For example, look at white. He doesn't seem to have very much strategy with his open. He just put 1 pawn out and then put the next pawn 2 spaces out. And just did that through the whole board. That doesn't look like very much of a strategy, and it makes it hard for some of the bishops and the knights to get out. They're kind of trapped, where with black's opening, there is plenty of room for the knights and bishops to move. The queen can definitely get out, so I'd say this is a solid opening. Up next is the middle game. This is also extremely important. This is probably where you will lose the most pieces, and you want to be sure that you don't make dumb mistakes and lose pieces. For example, look at white here. He left his rook wide open to that bishop, which means black can take his rook. And finally, we're in the endgame now. After a long game, it looks like black has white on the ropes. Most of his pieces are gone, and his king is cornered, but white notices something. He has a rook that can go to the other end to where the king is. He also has a pawn protected by a bishop, ready to trap the king, and so, he makes his move. With the rook down in his hand, he tries to escape, but the pawn prevents it, and with that, checkmate. Despite white having a terrible start, he managed to come back in the end and defeat black.
Well, there you have it. A simple guide on how to play chess. I hope you learned something. I hope that you can now win at chess.